Begin chapter. Soon after the hasty departure of the wrong anesthesiologist, we did get the opportunity to meet the correct one. He apologized for the previous anesthesiologist's visit and made her feel a bit more at ease. Within a short amount of time, Sheila was wheeled away to the operating room, and I was directed to a specific waiting room. The waiting room was actually a maze of rooms, each one somewhat like a dungeon with regular ugly, cold-looking walls. But as I stepped into the second room of the maze, my heart was immediately warm. Texas NF Camp. The Texas Neurofibromatosis Foundation has an amazing outreach program for individuals with NF. For starters, they can provide a list of doctors who know about the disease. Often, they offer to provide transportation to those who need to get to the hospital or an appointment. They are a source of information, a point of reference, and a voice of support. They sponsor marathons and golf tournaments to increase awareness of this disease. They host teleconferencing meetings for remote individuals to provide opportunities for them to learn from others. From time to time, they host speakers from around the country to gather in metropolitan areas for seminars, so those with neurofibromatosis can learn about the newest research and about legislative actions beneficial to those with the disease. We went to 3 of these meetings. Sheila may have attended 1 or 2 additional meetings when my work schedule wouldn't permit my attending. The Texas Neurofibromatosis Foundation provided lunch while professional research scientists made their presentations. These presenters were skilled in communication so that everyone listening understood their presentation, and of course, they would also provide time for question and answer sessions for those with specific concerns. The Texas NF Foundation are advocates, and they are friends to every family that has neurofibromatosis. One of the best programs they sponsor is a program called NF Camp. This camp occurs every September near Lake Somerville, close to Brenham, Texas. It is a barrier-free camp that hosts 60 or more nonprofit organizations each year. The camp is a 2-night adventure with swimming, crafts, campfires, archery, and horse riding. Camp counselors are specifically trained to work with individuals with an array of disabilities. As a family, we have learned that we are blessed. Our children are healthy and can travel from one place to another without aid of a wheelchair. They have either good vision or vision that can be corrected with glasses, and their hearing is good. At first, this type of camping experience did not seem like it was correct fit for our family. We were invited every year since Gina was born, but sadly, I was the one who resisted attending. We finally added camp on our schedule in 2000. Sheila and I made plans to take a half day off work, grab the kids out of the school immediately as the last bell rang, and head towards Brenham, Texas. After a 3.5 to 4 hour drive, we arrived at the camp as the sun was setting. We checked in, and camp counselors helped us with our overnight bags as they guided us to our residencies. The girls and Sheila got in an all-women's dorm, and I was in an all-men's dorm. There are family dorms for groups who register early enough. We apparently did not think to register early enough to grab one of the family dorms. The dorms were nothing spectacular. Entering a dorm room, the camper would find a clean cement floor, about 20 twin beds, separated with enough space for wheelchairs to travel easily through the maze, and about 4 bunk beds, 1 in each corner for younger campers. The bathroom was less than spectacular, with only curtains for privacy and showers and toilets. I understand the intent is to provide easy access for a counselor if someone required help, but overall privacy was limited for everyone. No one seemed to mind. They were at a camp to either get away or to enjoy socializing with individuals who shared a common concern or common theme. The cafeteria/game room/dance floor was nice. It was bright, with plenty of natural lighting, and it had a homey feeling to it. After we tossed our bags and sleeping bags on our bunks, we hurried to the fire pit for s'mores and songs. The counselors were quite entertainers. They sang and danced while providing refreshments and snacks. They created a mood of levity, and campers loved them for it. Lights went out at 10 p.m., and I still wondered if my family should be here. Why are we taking up the time of camp counselors who could help those less fortunate? At the time, I felt that I should pray for the well-being of some of these kids and for the adults. There were so many with serious medical conditions. The next day, I got to see a much fuller picture of many of these families. They were survivors. They would have been to camp whether or not they were trained counselors to help them. I felt humbled and a bit ashamed of my first impressions. These individuals were at camp to fulfill their social needs, and I had to overcome my first impression that any of these individuals were handicapped. Some of the campers with the least restrictive movement were the most independent. The campers loved our children and made our entire experience joyous. How foolish of me to have thought that the camp was for those with greater need. I wondered how often I may have stereotyped groups of individuals without even realizing it. Saturday was a full day, starting with breakfast, then a pre-planned schedule to keep the group small. Canoeing and fishing were among the favorite events for the girls. I think Gina caught her first fish at this camp. The girls' favorite attraction was a climbing wall with a zip-line ride down from the top. The kids and Sheila really enjoyed the zip-line. I, on the other hand, must have been strapped in incorrectly. I had a miserable zip-line ride down off the climbing wall and have not been a fan of zip-lines since. The girls were allowed to ride horses, pet ducks and ferrets, and swim. The evening was accentuated with a talent show. All during the events we met people. We visited with individuals with common concerns, individuals with children with NF, individuals with spouses with NF, and most interestingly, the counselors. These young men and women, mostly college students, radiated with an overwhelming passion to help people. I cannot put into words the amazing inner quality of these individuals. There were a couple of meetings on Sunday and a chapel service, and then checkout. I was wrong. I had thought that we would not benefit from going to camp because our family wasn't suffering from neurofibromatosis as severely as other families. The camp was not necessarily for severely handicapped individuals, but for individuals who shared the same concerns and worries. I may have learned more about like-minded strangers during that weekend than anyone there. My children loved camp. My wife found comfort through the meetings, and I enjoyed the nature and the pleasant people. I think we should attend camp for 3 additional years. I will always be grateful for the Texas Neurofibromatosis Foundation for providing this opportunity for many Texans who need moral support and respite from the worries of the world.